we were ahead by way too much, way too many times to lose that game. So just got to go back to square one and get working.
The Idaho Vandals stunned at New Mexico State after leading by as many as 23 points in the second half and seeming well on their way to a third straight win. But Idaho has little time to dwell on the painful loss as a trip to South Alabama awaits them. Inside the Vandals, next. Hey, welcome into another week of Inside the Vandals. I'm your host, Tom Purvis. So glad you could be with us once again, and we're joined now by Vandals head coach Paul Petrino. Coach, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Tom.
Well, Coach, obviously a disappointing loss. A game you guys were in control for much of the game, had some leads, and it ended in just, I'm sure, a heartbreaking overtime loss. What happened in your eyes out there?
You know, it was just a tough one because we come out the second half, we get an interception, and we score on the first play to go up 30-7. Really had to lead the whole game. Kind of felt like we're dominating the game. The first half they only had 26 plays. You finished the game with 92 plays, almost 600 yards. And, we just didn't put them away. We needed to put them away a couple different times. We didn't. We still had a 14-point lead with 5 minutes left. I think that first drive, when it only took them a minute to go score, that's what really hurt. Then we had a 3-and-out. On the second play, we ran a draw play, and, if we just two guys block it exactly correct, it's probably a 10-15 yard gain, and then you got a good chance to run the clock out. But you can't give up that many points in the second half, and you got to get touchdowns when you're down there on offense instead of settling for field goals.
How did you address the locker room after that game? How do you go in there and what do you say?
In the locker room right after the game, I just said, that's one we gave away, guys. There's no way we should have lost that game. I didn't say a whole lot more than that. And last night in the team meeting, we went into all the details of the red zone. The red zone's a big thing. They're in the red zone 6 times and they get 6 touchdowns. We're down there 9 times, and 2 times we don't get any points and kick 4 field goals and miss a field goal and get 2 touchdowns. And our other touchdowns came from outside the red zone. But you score 5 touchdowns and have 4 field goals. You just needed, I said basically what we needed is one of those field goals to be a touchdown, or one of their touchdowns make them settle for a field goal, and you win the game. But if you take care of business like we should have, you should have won the game comfortably. But we needed to watch the game. We need to learn from it. There's still a lot of positive things offensively that we can build on. A bunch of things that guys, Elijah Penny had a great game. Hightower came out of nowhere and had a great game. That was big. Thought Matt played really well. Probably just 2 plays he could redo. That last one, it's a play we call Y Patriot, and I see what he saw. The seam looked like it was open, but I was really calling it to just dump the ball to the tight end and to get us in, a third and manageable. And really the way they played it probably would have been a first down. But Matt just competed his tail off and made all kinds of plays for us. So he needs to walk around with his head up high. He definitely played good enough for us to win. Just as a team, everybody needed to play a little bit better.
When you look back at the tape defensively in that second half, because in the first half it seemed like you guys really had their number, and like you said, they run only 26 plays. Did something change? Were they doing something differently? What did you see when you watched the film?
We didn't tackle as well, probably number one. We gave up some big plays we had them in some good situations. We have them on 3rd and 12 on the 5-yard line coming out. Overtime we have them 4th and 22. Right before that play, I was just talking to Coach Singovich. We're going to put the ball in the middle of the field, run it a few times, kick the field goal to win the game. You can't give up a 4th and 22. You can't give up 3rd and 12 when they're coming out from the -5.
And obviously, like you said, a lot of positives in this game. Certainly, you don't hang your head about everything. In that first half especially, what was working for you guys so well offensively?
I think we played well offensively the whole game with the exception of maybe 2 drives, I just think our guys were executing well. I thought our offensive line played well. I thought Penny ran really well. Jake Manley was blocking well. In the passing game, some guys that maybe didn't have as many catches going into the game made some big plays. Hightower that I mentioned earlier, Jonte Boston stepped up, made some plays. Trent Cowan had some really big plays. Guys, we were just executing. The first drive of the game was a 17-play drive. And when you do that, even though we settled for 3, that helps your defense play better because they're standing on the sideline the whole time. So we almost had the ball as many plays the first drive as they had the whole first half. So that's just something that we need to build on. We need to go down to South Alabama this weekend and play really well both sides of the ball and special teams and come out of there with a win.
You know, and this is really kind of the first time this season that you guys have had, like you said, that really comfortable lead where you're starting to feel like this game is over. Is there something to be said? Does a team kind of have to learn how to close a team out?
Yeah, you got to learn how to, put them away when you got them down. And I think maybe maybe there's some guys that relaxed a little bit when we went up with a couple of those big leads, and that's something that we gotta learn from and keep moving forward. It's nice to be in that situation. Now we got to learn to know how to close them and do things right when we're in that situation.
He's Vandals head coach Paul Petrino. We're going to take a break, but up next we look ahead as the Vandals are back on the road at South Alabama. We also talk to a Vandal who is making his name on the offense. That's up next on Inside the Vandals.